Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. It's for the moment a little thing. I thought I'd do a what you're reading, meaning I'm going to talk about the comics that I've read since the last time I did what you're reading. I used to do these pre-recorded and then release them, but I'm not working right now, so what do you want from me? One dog's going one way, one dog's going the other way. So how you doing, everybody? I always filibuster a bit to give people a chance to filter in if they want to come in. And speaking of wanting to come in, this is an open invite. I find this to be fun. So you could click on this link and you could join me, have your camera ready, have your microphone ready, and we could talk about the comics, because I wanted to go to the comic book store and hang out and talk to people about comic books. But, this is the way to do it since I can't do it in person. As normal, I got my delicious Tim Hortons coffee ready. So I see I got some people in the chat or people watching. Everything looked good. Everything sound good. It is, my God, it's no one needs to build an ark right now. It is just thundering and lightning out here in New York. My buddy just bought a house not 3 miles from me, and the storm was so bad it overflowed like a duck pond, and just washed away the street right near. He said the water tore up the street, but his house was fine. He's been in the house for 3 weeks. Can you imagine how bad that was? Oh man. So I slept really badly last night. I kept waking up and checking the comic book room, checking to see if there's any water damage. There's no damage. When I got this house, I hired an engineer, and the engineer said that this basement has never seen a drop of water. Now, I've since put in a bathroom, live down here. So I don't know, I got my comic books down here. So, I got water pumps built in. So far, they've never been used. I got water sensors and dehumidifiers. It's nice and dry down here. And I just couldn't sleep last night. Just like, tonight's the night. I check in the windows, but if you go down to the street, there's water, but it's a slight incline up a little, driveway to my house, and there's nothing. There's a big depression in my backyard. I wonder how filled with water that is. But anyway, enough about the storm, enough about everything else. Let's talk about comics. So again, if anybody wants to join in, I just find it to be fun to pop in. I also would like to talk about this before we begin. We ready? Yes, we are. I got 200 backers. Oh my God, 200 backers on Fund My Comic. Look at this. This is outstanding. I'm so happy. Oh man. I just lost the words for a second, but this is my comic, Heroic Tales. Anybody who's watched this probably knows already. This is the variant cover by Pat Broderick, just an industry legend. There's the back cover. I just love that back cover. I can't wait for you guys to get this into your hand. And some good news. Those of you who may or may not know, my colorist's father had open heart surgery, and he had to go fly 200 miles to be with his father, and he was taking care of his father for the past 2 months. So no coloring has got done in the past 2 months. He messaged me today. All is well. His dad's doing good. He's home, and he should have he sent me 2 pages, and he should send me the next 3 pages in the next couple of days. And then the comic is colored. Just got to get it lettered. The pre-press is the only thing I don't really understand exactly what it is. I was told it shouldn't take too long. I got a guy on hold waiting to do it, and then it's chung, start printing. Campaign's not even over yet, and I'm talking about printing. Hey, Lori, how you doing, Lori? Lori, is an open invite if you want to come in. If you want to come in and we'll talk comics, while we're doing this. Yep, he's doing fine. My family's doing fine. I'm doing fine. My neck is healing. Lori, come on in if you want to talk comics with me. I like to talk to people, so it's cool if you want to pop in. This is an open invite stream, meaning anybody could pop in. So I just wanted to thank everybody for getting me to 200 backers. 200 backers. That is just amazing. My wife last night came down live and was just like, "Did you see this?" She held up a sign because she didn't want to appear on camera. But did you see this? You got 200 backers. And I was like, yeah, because the guy said as he was backing, I'm going to be your 200th backer. So it was really, really cool. But as if that's not enough, I have 41 more backers on Kickstarter right over here. So this is another. And I'm combining the numbers. So I got just over 1,000 here and 5,700. So that's $7,600 that I raised. So that means we are about to unlock the next stretch goal card. First, I want to show off this Michael T. Gilbert cover. This is on Kickstarter. And then I just want to show off these cards as I scroll down. So we are real close to unlocking this next card. And then let's go to all 7. I know I only have 6, but I forgot one character. So there's actually 7 stretch goal cards. So there's that. So let me I want the comics to be big. So there you go. And again, anybody wants to pop in, this is an open invite stream, and it's not going to be long. It's just going to be talk about comics that I read since the last time I did a video. Oh, I got comments. Let's read the comics. I'm glad you're doing well with your comics. Sorry about your colors. Yeah, Daniel's a great guy. He's his dad is doing okay. He had open heart surgery. Daniel went and stayed with his father, took care of him while he was recuperating. Daniel's back home. Like I said, I started the campaign when I was about 85% done, because I never did it before. I didn't know what obstacles were going to be in the way. I didn't know I was going to break my neck. I didn't know Daniel's dad was going to have problems. You know what I mean? Fortunately, luck favors the prepared, and I'm there's only like 3 more steps to do, guys. Only like 3 more steps. Letter, pre-press, get printed. Then the fun stuff of actually delivering the comic. You know what I mean? That is going to be fun. My friend Jimmy has already volunteered to come over and help. We'll get some pizza. Our wives will go upstairs and watch Hallmark, and me and Jimmy will beg and board and do comics. John Byrne. Oh, I'm thinking your name was John Byrne. Logic's Finest says, John Byrne, we have to talk about it. Yes, you're invited. Come on in. I hope you get all the way. Thank you. So do I. Okay, so let's talk about the comics. This is going to be a short video. I really didn't. Just moving the light. Just either my face glows like an unholy creature of the night, or I'm in the dark. I have right above me a 2x2 LED light, and it just puts a glare on everything. So this is Avengers 167. I reread this for Sunday Comics on Sunday. This is one of my favorite comics of all time. It's really weird because as much as it's all character. The plot is a spaceship shows up, the Avengers investigate, they meet the Guardians of the Galaxy. There's really nothing else, but it's so much character and so much interaction between characters, because it's 2 different teams of superheroes meeting for the first time. I absolutely love this, and I'm going to put the comics. I can't put them there, so I'll put them over here. Okay, this cover, I hate this. This is such a bad stunt, but it's not braille. What is it called when it's raised like this? But this is Fantastic Four 371. I've been recently rescanning. I take a scanner, I hit this barcode, and I have a program, and it logs in all my comics. While that, I don't know why, but that bombed. My hard drive crashed, and my buddy was able to fix everything, except he was not able to retrieve the comic book hard drive data, rather. So I'm redoing it, and I didn't realize that I was missing these Fantastic Four comics. So there I go. I'm rereading. Well, not rereading. I'm reading these for the first time, and I loved it. It was so much fun. My wife just called me a nerd and went back upstairs. Embossed. That's the word. Oh, I think the story where Avengers run into. Yeah, the comic that I just showed. Yes, that Avengers that I just showed. Oh, Yang, if you want to pop in, the link is in the chat. If you want to pop in, Hojo, if you want to pop in, the link is in the chat. If anybody wants to pop in, the link is in the chat. I love the Korvac saga. I have it in the trade rather than the floppies. Prez was a bit, yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes. So that Avengers 167 was the beginning of the Korvac saga. So this ego. So these were new to me, Fantastic Fours, even though they came out in 1992. And as I was saying last night, I started a new show. I don't know how often I'm going to get to do it. You know, when I go back to work, I don't think I'm going to be able to do too much, but I'm thinking like around 10 o'clock on, you know, if nobody else is streaming, I don't want to step on anybody else's toes. I was thinking of doing Comics Great and just taking out a bunch of cool comics and just talking about them, open invite for anybody. It was really successful last night, even though I used the wrong stream. So it went out as comic book team up, you know, boom. So I had to change everything after the fact, but it went out pretty good. I talked for 3.5 hours. People come in. So here is Fantastic Four 372. These were so much fun. And here's the thing is I remember not liking the Tom DeFalco run. And last night I was gushing like a fanboy, you know, just shows you how spoiled we were in the 90s. You know, 1992, the comics from the 80s were so good that you know, and I don't even want to say slight dip in quality because looking back at these are awesome. I don't know why. I was just spoiled. I was just a spoiled kid in 1992. It's the only thing to say. You know, the Hoochie Sue costume. This is the issue where Ben Grimm gets slashed in the face by Wolverine. Look at this ridiculous cover. You know, if the one thing about the Tom DeFalco years, it was like a lot of stunts. You know, it was the beginning of like the stunts. I don't recall like the only stunts I remember from the Jim Shooter years were like Secret Wars, you know, and then Secret Wars 2, which was like negative mass toots. Okay, look at this. I just read this one now. This is the issue where Franklin becomes an adult. You know, another comic that harkens back to Days of Future Past. A great comic in its own run, but one of the most overused comics in comics history, if you ask me. Oh, we'll do that. Okay, so these are more comics that I've been reading. This is Cable and X-Force. You know, I quit Marvel and DC in 2015, and now I'm like, let me finish up some of the runs. So I'm just finishing up the runs. I'm finishing up my runs. That sounds real gross, but I'm finishing up these comics because I can't. It bothered me. So as I'm rescanning my comics, I'm like, there's only like 6 more, and I'm done. So you know, that's what I'm doing. So this is Cable and X-Force. I still can't stand Cable. These comics, like, I don't know, not the best, but now looking back at them, you know, this came out in what, 2015, 16 or so. Looking back at it, I'm like, wow, this is so much better than I think, because I'm comparing it to modern comics. Cable and X-Force. You know, I was really tired of the X-Men around this period. You know, the X-Men were just like whining crybabies. And then there's multiple versions and different times, and you know, I was just getting just lost interest in anything X-Men. And now it's charming. You know what I mean? It's looking back with rose-colored glasses, I guess. Let's see some of the comments. I'm sorry. Hey John, it's me, Ellie. You know, from Long Island. Yeah, that's right. I'm over here now. Are you in the storm? Did you get any flooding? I was just saying in the beginning of the stream that my buddy just bought a house 3 weeks ago. Well, he bought the house 2 months ago. He gutted the whole house, and he moved into his house 3 weeks ago. And then a duck pond over by Stony Brook just overflowed, knocked out the road, like right by his house. He was like, I guess I don't own a house anymore, but he was fine. He was fine. So I couldn't sleep last night. I kept thinking my house is going to flood. My house is absolutely fine. And then I got up like around 9 o'clock in the morning. I was up. I went to sleep early, woke up super early because I was worried about the storm. Like me being down here is going to protect the walls, but maybe it worked. So I only fell asleep around like 10 o'clock in the morning because I was just crazy about the storm. And I messaged all my friends around 9. They're all fine. They're all fine. They're all fine. And then when I wake up from my nap, my friend Bex, she's in North Carolina visiting friends. Her neighbors are telling her that her house is freaking flooded. Poor girl, can't catch a break. Poor girl. So are you okay? Is your house okay? I love Silver Sable and the Wild Pack. Yeah, they were in that Fantastic Four, hired by uh, by uh, by J. Jonah Jameson. I preferred Paul Ryan on Ravage 2099. It wasn't a fan of the. Okay, I forgot that he did that. Ravage was better than I thought. You know what else was a better 2099? Was Spider-Man 2099. It was excellent. Tom saw the numbers. They had to do anything they could to steal readers over from Image. Yes, you had to compete. Image was gangbusters at this point, right? This was the highest that they were doing, Hojo. Delicious coffee. Yeah. I still miss DP7. That's another run. I think I'm missing the last 4 or 5 issues, so I'm gonna have to pick up DP7 again. Anybody wants to pop in? Everybody's so shy. I'm a nice guy. Jim Shooter leaving was the beginning of a slow downturn that led to Bendis and started the end. Yeah, Jim Shooter didn't leave. He was forced out. He didn't quit. He would have stayed. And I remember at the time I loved Jim Shooter. I had no problems with him. Never had any problems with Jim Shooter. And the more I look at older comics, the more I realize like how influential Jim Shooter was. This is Multiversity. This is the New 52 by DC. I just picked it up because I didn't even know what it was. I saw that there was a Captain Marvel Shazam issue, and it looked like, you know, the Captain Marvel family. I'm a big fan of the original Captain Marvel, so I picked it up, and it was excellent. So I said, you know what? I want to get all of these Multiversity issues. So I tracked down which was because they're difficult because they're all number ones. So it's kind of difficult to see what order to read them all. You got to like go down in this line, whatever. And it's Grant Morrison being Grant Morrison, typical Grant Morrison. Starts out with great ideas. It's a lot of fun, and then just poops the bed towards the end. Toward the end, like I don't even care anymore. You know, it's a shame. This I did for Sunday Comics last week. What if the Avengers had never been? I got this off the rack back in 1977. Just so good. Warp. Look at this cover. Jerry Bingham, Mike Gustovich cover. That is an awesome cover. Hojo, come on in. Why don't you come on in? We'll talk about the mythicals. Come on in. The water's fine, Hojo. I would say 92 would be the peak. That's when all the variant covers and stuff was brought out. The delays happened in 93. Then by 94, 95, yeah. So not, yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. So I'm trying to think, like 92 and 93 were bad at Marvel, you know, just not the best comics. Fantastic Four being the exception. Like I missed 8 issues in a row. I don't know how I never knew that I missed those issues, but you lose track of stuff when you have a gigantic collection. And they were great. My voice cracks. I was nice about Jim Shooter. He was forced out, fired without using the word fire. Yeah, and people were mean. Chuck Dixon said that he went into the office to look for work that particular, you know, do you got anything for me? And it was the day that Jim Shooter was already gone by the time he got there, and everybody was partying, and John Byrne invited everybody out to dinner, his treat, you know, and Chuck Dixon's like, yeah, I'll go to a free dinner. But, you know, lo and behold, they got, you know, be careful what you wish for, you know. Jim Shooter leaving Valiant really messed him up. I don't know much about his Valiant years. You know, that if he ever comes back on my channel, that's what I would like to talk about. You know, the post-Marvel years. Hojo and I agree. I love Jim Shooter at Valiant and Broadway Comics, New Universe 2.0. I didn't like Defiant Comics, though. I didn't get any of those. This was me going to college. I think it was 94. You know, I had the pizzeria that so I was in college. This was like the brokest. Around 93, 94 was the brokest I've ever been in my life. This is why I missed the Fantastic Four comics. The only comic that I was still getting, like I went out of my way to get, was Sandman. I loved Sandman, you know. That was like my comic at the time. And now look at Neil Gaiman. I'm driving and pick up my kids. My internet would be okay. Oh no, cool. Got to pick up your kids. Got to pick up your kids. Look at this cover. Again, Jerry Bingham. This comic, Warp, started out really good, but it suffered from like what I would call like hippy dippy pot smoker syndrome. Like I'm big on names. Like okay, so she's Sargon. Well, Sargon, it was a historically male name, but whatever. And this character name is Chaos. Okay, his brother's name. What do you think the Chaos's brother's name would be? He's black. The brother's white with blonde hair and blue eyes. Totally opposites. What do you think his brother's name? Yes, Cumulus. Cumulus. That's the perfect name for Chaos's brother. And when Chaos and Cumulus touch, they merge into a being. What do you think that being's name would be? Yes, Ego. These are just cool words that have no connection to each other. It's just like, dude, what if like Chaos had a brother's name was like Cumulus, and then like they merged, became Ego. You know, it's dude, make it make sense. Chaos's brother should be Order. When they merge, balance. Then it makes sense, but it's still a great cover. Alex Johnson. I like independent comics in 1970s and 1980s. The Elementals were awesome. Absolutely awesome. I might do comics great tonight with the Elementals. I have a game night. A couple of buddies are coming over. We get pizza. We play board games. And if nobody's streaming, again, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Well, maybe I'll do another comics great. Hey, Brian, how's it going? How's Six Gun Gorilla doing? How's everything? Man, I love comics from the 80s and the explosives, but there was some. Yes. Have I read the Michael Moorcock novels? Yes, I have. I was obsessed with them. Why was I obsessed with them? Because of this book right here. You know, this is the edition with the Michael Moorcock. So I've done like three streams on this book itself about how that book has like been one of the most important books in my life. It got me to read Greek. Well, I was already reading Greek mythology, but Norse mythology. I read all the mythologies except the only mythology I ever gave up on was Celtic mythology, only because I couldn't pronounce the names. You know, I've just been considering Batman '89 comics. The cover art, yeah, they were Mike Allred. Have you read the new French Eller comics? I didn't know. Brian, if you could send me on Twitter a link to some of them, I'll check them out. I had no clue. You know, like I said, I've been a shut-in lately. So now we got another Warp. So now what happens is I got these originally because of Frank Bruder's artwork in the first 10 issues was just so good. And then I'm not going to complain about Jerry Bingham, but this is also Bill Willingham's first comic book art. I think we're going to be yep. This is the first cover by Bill Willingham that's not on an Elementals comic. So this is Bill Willingham. Look at that. There's something about the lines on Bill Willingham. I don't know what it is, but I've never like I don't know. I could gush, but I don't have the words to describe what I like about Bill Willingham's artwork. I don't know. Jim Shooter had high standards, demanded artists to be on time. That time demand was the biggest problem artists had with Jim Shooter. Duck Dixon called that. Claremont said that. Yeah. He was trying to, he was running Marvel Comics like a business, and you had contracts back then. Most of Marvel and DC was sold on the newsstands, and the newsstands were legal periodical. They had contracts. They had to ship on time. So Jim Shooter was crack of the whip, and before that there was a lot of Marvel comics that were just reprints or clip comics, for just because the deadlines were being missed. And Jim Shooter was like, he was a boss. My foreman, I'm a construction worker. My foreman, everybody hates him. I don't hate the guy because I know he's got pressure. The foreman's got pressure from everybody. Jim Shooter had pressure from everybody, and he was good at it. The Elemental started Villains Vigilantes game. Bill Willingham rules. This game, This game, here's one of my cards for my comic. This game, don't quote me the old laws. I was there when the old magic was written to murder Aslan. Yeah, I'm a big villain vigilantes freak. Alex, I don't know if you knew that, but I'm villain vigilantes is outstanding. And Elementals wasn't exactly created. The Destroyers was created in Villain Vigilantes, the bad guy team. But Villain Vigilantes, I mean, Elementals debuted in Justice Machine Annual #1 by Texas Comics. You got it. They are amazing. Okay, yeah, I would look. I picked up something by Elric that I didn't read yet, so I wonder if I got it already. The new French Conan comics are amazing. What company is this? Brian, send me links to both of these. I got some Conan and I got something Elric, but I don't know if it's new. Hey Kevin, how you doing? Happy Monday. Kevin's my old roommate back in Albuquerque, still in Albuquerque. John Byrne and his massive ego led that charge against Shooter, but the past is past. Tomorrow's down. Yep. I wonder if John Byrne regrets it. I wonder if John Byrne regrets it. You know what I mean? Julian Blondell gives great Elric. That art is amazing. Now I'm excited. Is it new stories? Is it adaptations? Because I read it. I read the original 6 Elric short novels, little paperbacks by Del Rey, and I loved them. I read them over and over again. And then I read a big hardcover. It's like Elric, a prequel before he's out, and I did not like it. I did, and it's written by Moorcock. Look at this warp. Now this was like stoner space opera. Think of like heavy metal, stuff like that, like early 70s. And now the whole creative team changed, the whole tone changed, and it's still good. It's still good, but the end was coming. And this is the end. This is when you end on a 19, it's not the best ending in the world. Okay. Here's the next batch of stuff that I'm reading. Cyclops. This is just like the kind of stuff that drove me crazy about Marvel, was they brought back through time travel. The X-Men just stop with all the duplicate characters. So this is teenage Cyclops flying around space with Corsair from the Starjammers. So unnecessary. But I bought #1, and I got to get the rest. I'm weak. Captain America. I've always loved Captain America. This is a Mark Waid. I love Chris Samney's like new retro look, but I know it. Mark Waid could write. This was Kraven the Hunter going after Captain America. The only tired thing was he gets trapped in ice, wakes up in the future, and he's fighting white supremacists, because that's all Mark Waid could do these days. White supremacists. He was making his bed. There was a white supremacist under his bed, and then he went back in time to the moment that he was frozen in the ice and stopped that future from happening. Dude, get over it. That time travel stuff is weak. The white supremacist stuff is trite, and enough is enough. So that's all the comics that I read. I'm just going to go address all the comments in the chat. The French Conan comics are called the Sumerian and that's right, because that's right. They're avoiding a lawsuit. That's right. I heard about that. I got the DD's Demigods too. I love gaming books about gods. Me too. I'm a mythology freak. You're not going to be able to tell, but Heroic Tales is going to have a lot of mythology woven into it. Maybe you'll start picking it up soon. I mean, like by issue 4, considering issue 1's not even out yet. I'm building a race at this moment for my V&V game. Taking break to what's the name of your race? Like an alien race? Moorcock himself said that the new French Elric actually improved on his novels. There you go. Yeah, send me a link. My phone's buzzed. Oh, I just got it. Brian Christo just sent me a link. There you go. Just got it. John Byrne regrets nothing. His ego is well known. Yes, 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 yes. Jim Shooter and John Byrne may have hated each other, but they both contributed to Star Brand, which was amazing. Yeah, and then when Jim Shooter was gone, John Byrne had Pittsburgh blow up because that's where Jim Shooter was born and raised. So petty, so petty. Craven looks like Magnum PI. Yeah, yep. So I'm all caught up. I'm all caught up. This is all I wanted to do was talk about the comics that I read since the last time I did this. Yeah, I think I only did this a couple of days ago. So I have a link if anybody wants to come in and talk. Of the Eld, that's the name of your new race. So what Kevin's talking about is Kevin now used to be a player in my game when I played when I played Villains Vigilantes. Now he's playing Villains Vigilantes with a couple of guys that I used to play with. But since I'm in New York and Kevin's in Albuquerque, it's not like we could sit down and play anymore. That's cool. Kevin is now taking the mantle of the game master upon himself and making up. He's doing his own world building, which is cool. So I'm just gonna put some comics out here, just to look at them. Yep, he does. He looks like Tom Selleck. He looks like, yeah, it does look like Tom Selleck. Now that I think about it. So anyway, I'm just gonna filibuster for another minute or two. If the chat is dying down, if nobody wants to pop in, I'll call it quits. But this is supposed to be a short, fun video. I like this stuff. Again, I can't believe I got 200 backers. Oh, if I may, I'll do a commercial for my challenge coin. This is my Heroic Tales challenge coin. This is my Heroic Tales regular coin. The minimum order for these was 300. So I got bags of these. You know what I mean? But they're earmarked for whoever bought them in the campaign. But I didn't sell 300 of them. So if anybody just wants a coin, you could go to either Kickstarter or Fund My Comic and just buy a coin. You could do that. Or you could, I don't know. Yeah. You could contribute $5 and then just say, I just want a coin. Because that's how much I have to charge for these with the shipping and everything. But they got this nice wash, same size as a quarter. These I bought because these took so long, I panicked. So I ordered these just so I would have something for the campaign. And then these showed up. Literally, they showed up like a day or two within each other. I was like, oh, I think I got the message that these were being shipped the day I paid for these. These were super expensive. As you can see, they're twice the size. And I got a small run of these because they're expensive. I didn't know how well they would go. So I only got like 20. I think I have 11 left. This is mine. So I have 19 for sale. And these... $30 post-paid. If you want these, you could just PayPal me at John's Longbox John's Longbox at yahoo.com through PayPal. Give me your address and I'll mail these to you. I just mailed one to Canada. I just $30 within the United States. If you live out international, we'll have to work something out. But a little spoiler alert: these will be added onto. I'll do a second chance once I'm printing the comic. I'm going to do a second chance campaign, and it's all going to be on Fund My Comic. I feel like I betrayed Fund My Comic going on Kickstarter. And as I say that, I'm prepping to go on Indiegogo with the third variant cover. Did I enjoy Secret Wars 2 and all the crossovers? No. I didn't know it at the time, but I read Secret Wars. That wasn't a term yet, but I read Secret Wars 2 because I'm a completionist, and it was so bad that me and my friends would get it just to make fun of it. It was awful. It was so bad. It was terrible. and the crossovers just were annoying and interrupted. It was the beginning of the end of editorial decree, just messing with the flow of comics. I don't mind when a big event impacts all the comics, but it has to be like the Democrats used to talk about abortion, safe and rare. I'll say good and rare. It has to be good and rare for that to happen. And it really, really ruined comics for a long time. The success of Secret Wars, in a way, was a monkey's paw. You know what I mean? It was so successful, but it created this precedent of interfering with all the other all the other comics. Godfo, how you doing? How you doing? Hope your comics doing well. Godfo was just on last week. Afro SF and Zen's comics. I'm sure I'm ripping that apart. But how you doing? It's good to see new names. Salute from Hee Haw, not from the military. The gold building was stupid. Yeah. Gold building was, yeah. The Beyonder turned this building into solid gold, and then they dropped it into the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, like there's no pirates mining that building. Good to see you, man. All right. So I think I'm going to stop now. My wife came down to tell me something. Watched me for a minute. Called me a nerd. Went upstairs. So I got to go see what she wants. For all I know, the house was hit by lightning. No, she would have interrupted me if it was something bad. I think she wanted to talk about dinner. Secret Wars Part 2 wasn't good. Felt totally disjointed, unnecessary, lessened the yes, it lessened the Beyonder. Good way to put it, Logic. So tonight, after my game night, if it doesn't go on too long, I might do Comic Create number 2 and probably do the first 5 issues of the Elementals. So just giving you the heads up. I'm not going to create the stream for it until maybe 20 minutes beforehand because I don't know if I'm going to do it. But there you go. That was a lot of fun for those of you who missed it. 3 hours of pure comic book nerdness, fun, no drama. It was just everything. Yeah, it was just so good. All right, so I'm gonna go out now. See what my wife wanted. Prep for game night tonight. Believe it or not, actual real people coming to my house. Buddies hanging out, playing a board game, eating pizza, talking nonsense. So much fun. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.